Dude, they dropped it. They gave it to us. The cover.
Everything happened so fast, I feel like, this time.
So fast.
Last time, the thing had a couple more clues, right? What did it have? 4 clues? Enemy at the gate. Yeah, so it was 4 clues versus 3 clues. I feel like we didn't get the cover until, a decent amount afterwards. I don't know. I didn't feel like...
At least a couple of weeks.
It didn't feel this quick.
Right.
We're doing this, sort of emergency pod because Mike had some things and couldn't record this weekend, so it's a little bit post time. But we felt that we needed to get on here and talk about this cover because I called it. Did I or did I not? I said it looked like a flag.
Dude, you did. You absolutely did. And I was ready to drop everything. I wanted to be on Johnny on the spot, get my first reactions down on paper. Unfortunately, it was a funeral that took me away, so that's the reason I didn't drop everything to record this for you guys. But you're getting it now. Maybe not first reaction, but this is
it's our reaction,
dude. This is great. Okay, hold on. If you had to say 3 words, because I posted about this, 3 words and 3 emojis that describe this cover, what comes to mind?
Fucking badass.
That's 3 words right there.
3 words.
There it is.
that would be my 3 words. I'm not good at the emoji game. I don't know. 3 surprise emojis. A thumbs up. More than a thumbs up. Is there like a fuck yeah emoji? I feel like there should be. No, dude. It kind of looks like a shield with the one. So right, they gave us a little sneak peek in the one.
Right.
When you went to the website, right? And it peels back, and I saw the black lines with the blue lines, and the one red was showing. And I'm like, it kind of looks like a flag, but, all of our lines in the American flag are red, so it doesn't really make sense. But then now that I actually see it, it makes perfect sense. I don't know. It's just, I think it's friggin' perfect.
Dude, so one of my main words I would go with is modern.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had a modern, chic looking, like very sleek even. We haven't had that, I feel like. Usually the covers have this very regal, traditional, official feel. Maybe a seal, kind of looks very official. This one is modern. It's like, it stands out for sure. It's totally different. What does this red line mean?
It's got to be blood, some sort of. That's why I took it as, this is a flag and the flag's bleeding,
Yeah, I mean it's pretty torn up too. It's rough. Yeah. Do you wish we had a little bit more of a hint with the cover? Because Enemy at the Gates, you had the White House. You knew shit was going down with someone inside the White House. You knew the traitor was the enemy was us. It was somebody in our government. This flag, I mean, are we hurting ourselves? Is it a foreign threat hurting us? I don't know. I kind of wanted a little more detail of the storyline. I think it looks great visually. It's stunning. It's almost perfect. I think it's going to be a metaphor for Mitch Rapp, the story and the characters dealing with a modern political climate, with the Cooks
right,
totally rewriting the fabric of American government and society. But I don't know. I maybe I'm just being selfish. I wanted to know more about what's coming, and the cover gives us nothing. Gives you no hints.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't do, anything towards potentially. Although, how many of those covers had power lines and gave you no hints? So I mean, I will say, none of Kyle's covers have gone that route. So, but I know what you're saying with Enemy of the Gates. We had, and then they were able to, like, the way they put the posts, it made it seem like you don't know if you're outside looking in or inside looking out.
Right.
Who is that man approaching from the White House? Or it kind of looked like he's either walking towards you or he could be walking towards the White House. The way they designed that was ingenious,
Total Power, you had the lights literally going out. You know,
Yeah,
you
that
knew
was
that
cool,
was
too.
going to happen. I don't know. This one's giving me nothing. It's like Thomas Stansfield and his Sphinx. You can't get a read.
No, you can't. I think that the red line has to symbolize blood, bleeding. Maybe someone dies.
Dude.
Someone's going after Claudia.
Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me now. You know, this is going to sound really weird. I was in the shower. And
Yes.
I don't think I've shared any shower stories on the podcast yet. I was in the shower, and I have no reason why, but I spent a solid 5 minutes pondering this question. Is it really a thriller if nobody dies? Can you write a thriller with no one dying?
Well, yeah, because it's like the people can die. You know, that's like the suspension. You know, like Memorial Day. Like,
yeah, but people
who
die.
dies? The terrorists die.
Dude, he executes people, the terrorists, after in the interrogation to get that one guy singing like a bird. You have the opening scene, bombs flying everywhere. You're in a war zone. People are dying. I'm not saying a major character, but I'm just, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear
no death. But there hasn't been a single book that doesn't have death.
That was my point. Can you tell a compelling story without people dying?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
All right, anyway,
No,
that's what I was wondering in the shower. It has nothing to do with our discussion, but
I don't. I think that's like the definition of it. I mean,
so what's a thriller? It's a tough question.
What's the definition of a thriller?
Yeah.
I think it has to include death, right? Or there has to be like the belief that anyone can die,
or else it's just a drama.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a very philosophical question there, Mike.
The shower thoughts, man. I will keep the podcast audience updated about my next thriller shower thoughts experiment. Hopefully there isn't one, but there probably will be. Here's a question. On the flag, the stars are on a white background. The white and the blue bleed together, so there's no real white field for the stars to sit upon. Anything there? Or am I just going off the deep end now?
I think you're just going off the deep end.
That's because it's not giving me anything. I want some hints.
Instead of white, it's black. So you're reaching for something now.
All right, I guess.
You think the one red stripe is Mitch?
Yeah, persona non grata. Yeah, he's cut out of the picture. He's
cut out of the picture.
Not allowed in America, which is wild. An America that doesn't allow Mitrap in its borders, but that's where we're at. Could it be the advisor who tricks the cooks into going after Mitch? The security advisor who's kind of playing the cooks.
Could be.
Could it be Catherine Cook? Because she's the one pulling the strings.
But is she? Based on the little blurb, it almost seems like Kyle is kind of transitioning like the cooks a little bit differently. And that's why
true.
That's why maybe it's just like false. But it seems like, Anthony Cook and Mitch have this agreement, but then he's easily persuaded. But I'm happy that we didn't rank the cooks in our top villains yet, because I do think the jury is out on them. Because, Kyle could decide not to make them like big bads, exactly.
Yeah, they could find out they're getting false information from this advisor guy, and we realize they do have another side to them that realizes they pursued Mitch as if he broke the truce when he really didn't. They could actually be remorseful of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
the jury's still out on the cooks.
Dude, does anything
Yeah,
on this
Legion.
cover scream Legion to you? Like that red stripe?
No.
Maybe the new assassin? I don't know.
The Legion to me makes me feel like they're French. Like, and it has some sort of, I don't know. Maybe just because I'm thinking of Louis Gould and how he was a French legionnaire. But maybe I'm just grasping for straws there. I don't know.
Or Claudia's enemies being French, someone from her past. Obviously, Louis would be related to that, but maybe it's just a hearkening to her involvement as well in Louis's escapades and the people he crossed. Well, she crossed them too.
So do the cooks hire Legion?
It seems that way, but it's the double-blind secrecy. What does that mean? How do you double-blind secrecy? Why can't Legion be called off? There must be a real intricate plot of who hires who and how.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of like...
There's a shadow group behind it. The shadowy group has created a business model based on double-blind secrecy. Neither the killer nor the client knows the other's identity. Because of this, Legion cannot be called off, nor can they afford to fail.
Isn't that how Louis did his thing, and then he was able to figure out who his clients were because he was able to hack into it. But the way he had it set up, that he wasn't supposed to know his clients, and they definitely weren't supposed to know who he was. Isn't that like normally how assassins work?
That's like in The Last Man when he's hired to take out somebody. He doesn't know it's Mitch. He's sitting in the room ready to take the shot. I think he opens the envelope, or maybe he has it on a cell phone. He opens the file, and he gets the picture of Mitch. So he didn't even know, planning the op, right up until the op's supposed to take place. He didn't know the target. Is this some sort of double-blind secrecy that goes even deeper than that encrypts it even more? He also didn't know who his boss was that hired him.
No, he didn't.
And he was nervous the boss who hired him was taking out a hit on him, which he was. And so Louis needed an escape plan from his own boss. How do you get more secretive than that, you know?
Yeah, that's what just has me confused, because I feel like most, or not most, but like a lot of the way they do this assassin stuff is traditionally, you don't know who hires you, and you have a handler who maybe gets like some deep dark web address that, says, I want this guy hit, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not thinking about it correctly.
What's the communication method if you can't call that person off? Because even in a traditional arrangement, you would have a channel of communication. You'd have a way to report the hit is done. You'd have a way to pick up the file to know the details. There's some level of communication. It seems here, once the contract is made, neither side can communicate nor call it off and can't afford to fail. It's almost as if built into the contract is, if it doesn't execute, the parties are eliminated. How does that, right? Like Legion can't afford to fail means if Legion doesn't kill Claudia, Legion's dead. How does that work?
It's almost like it would have to be like an old school dead drop that once it's used, it's never used again. Kind of like Stan Hurley's safe houses. Once they use them, they never go back to them ever.
Yeah, sure, but Kyle's making it sound like something deeper than that. Legion can't be called off, nor can they afford to fail. No matter how long it takes, weeks, months, years, they won't stand down until their target is dead. How does that work?
It must be in like their business model. Like they refuse to.
Do you think it's basically there's almost two agreements? Legion is given the target. You must kill this person. But at the same time, Legion knows there are other teams of people who they don't know shit about Legion, but all they know is if Claudia doesn't, or if the target doesn't die, they get a new target, which is Legion, right? So there's a whole nother group of people not related to Legion who their contract says, if this person is still alive by this date, you kill the assassin. You kill Legion.
Yeah, but how do they if they don't know who Legion is, how do they find him? Yeah, I'm confused by that. I was really confused by that whole couple sentences.
Dude, oh man,
I can't wait for this book.
There's something there, though. There is something we're missing.
There is something there. Is something we're missing.
It's going to be one of those moments like, oh, no way, how'd I miss that? Or, whoa, like, how do you even come up with something that can satisfy those criteria? Because I can't even think of it. So there's going to be something good here. There's going to be something revelatory about this.
Yeah, when do we have to wait for this book? September 12th?
September 12th or 13th? Mid-September.
Jeez, can't come fast enough, man.
Dude, I almost wish they teased us on the cover and didn't give it to us yet. I need something to look forward to in March. And the ambassador application. That's what we need now.
Coming out.
When do you think ARCs go out? Do you remember how far in advance? It's pretty early.
We got ours in July. Ours in July.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had mine for my beach vacation. So
okay. And I was on summer break, so I had a lot more time to devour it over and over.
Yeah, you read it like a couple times.
Yeah, okay. All right, well.
That was the cover.
Great couple of months ahead.
Can't wait. Just a disclaimer, this podcast is not affiliated with Vince Flynn, Kyle Mills, or Simon & Schuster, but thank you to them for bringing us the wonderful world of rap. And the music soundtrack is Guerrilla Tactics by Raphael Crux.